And now, another exciting episode of As the River Churns.
We good? All right. Well, welcome everybody
Woo!
to our St. Patty's Day celebration. We have a couple of extra special guests that have been running around the community today.
They're special.
Spreading cheer. If you haven't had a chance to see them, I think they've been bringing green beer to everybody, right?
Yeah. Totally.
If you haven't gotten your green beer, call 336. Oh, no, never mind.
389-4112.
Yeah, there you go. See, I got my green beer here. It's green beer.
You know, on the screen it probably does look green because if you can't tell, we have a green set today.
To go with the green that we're already wearing.
Yes, exactly. So it's green on green. Very exciting.
Ooh, boy, that is bright. Well, thank you, you two. Great job. Thanks for bringing all the cheer.
Great
today.
sports. Yes.
And Lisa, we're very excited. We actually have like a studio audience.
We do. This is like the best day ever.
I know. This is so
Yes.
exciting.
There's actually people that signed up for the show.
Where's Tom Burleson? It's so exciting. Where's Tom?
He's not here today.
Okay.
No.
Boy, look, we can see ourselves on the screen. It's pretty washed out, isn't it?
We're green. Yeah.
Very festive, though. I like it.
It is.
Very cool.
And the balloons, wow.
So, Lisa, speaking of special guests,
Yes.
we have another special
We
guest
do.
today. We've been billing that we're going to have one of Ken's cousins coming today,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yes.
And he is here in full force.
Yes, Angus McGregor Bob, I think, is with us today.
Welcome, Angus.
There he is, hey, Angus!
Woo! Come on up, Angus.
Oh, I've been on the links. Been playing your golf course. It's so exciting. I love it. Too many trees.
Too many trees.
Too many trees.
Wow.
I'm Angus.
Oh, hello, Angus.
Angus
Yes, I'm
McGregor.
Bob.
I was in Scotland. I was Angus McGregor, and then I moved to Texas, and they added Bob to my name. I would just appreciate it when you say Angus. Don't forget the G. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Angus without the G would not be good.
No. In junior high, they made fun of me that way.
I thought they did.
So this is kind of a Presbyterian place, I understand.
It is.
is.
It
You have
is.
Scottish Presbyterians here?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know, we are very frugal.
Yes, that's P with a large P. That's for Presbyterian.
Yes. Yes, some people call us cheap, but we're just frugal. They tell me that you don't do tips here. It's
Right.
probably why you have so many Presbyterians. We don't even tip our hats. We use solar-powered batteries in our hearing aids.
Oh,
Wow.
that works really well.
I've got suits that I've worn through 4 different changes in style. It's good to be with you.
It's great.
Yeah, we're glad you're here.
Angus.
Yeah, thank you for the G. Thank you for the G.
Oh, I love it. All right. Well, Angus, the first thing we usually do on our show is we have a trivia question, and I think Lisa is going to go ahead and share that. But if you
Yes.
happen to know the answer, don't shout it out, okay? Because you probably will know the answer to this question.
You probably will.
Oh.
So this is a contest thing that we do here, so we want to make sure you don't just blurt it out. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes.
You know, it was a little nippy outside. You don't mind if I take a swig, do you?
No, help yourself.
Not at all.
Oh, thank
Is
you.
that green beer?
Yeah, no, it's from Scotland. Would you like some?
No, I have plenty. Thank you. Thank you. We're good. We're good here.
How about
See?
now?
No, we're good. We're good. Oh,
All right.
Okay.
So, Lisa, what is the winner of the trivia question going to win today?
well, for St. Patrick's Day, you got to have some beer.
Beer.
So we have several
Is
beer.
it beer or beers?
Yes, it is.
This is beers. There is beer, multiple beer here.
Okay.
So, okay. And the question today is from Dick Witt, and it is a St. Patty's question. So this should be a good one. And what number caller are we going to take, Michelle? I was thinking 17 for St. Patrick's Day, but that was vetoed.
Michelle, that did not come from me
Three.
this time, okay? So just so you know.
3. She's saying 3.
Oh, 3, okay.
Yep,
3.
okay.
All right.
So we'll go with the third caller. No, I
Well,
don't
you know,
think,
for the Irish, 4 is good luck. 4 leaf clover, not
There
3.
you go. So we have to do 4. That makes sense.
okay.
Thank you, Angus.
Okay, she's good with 4. That,
4 works. That's good.
Angus, that was good. Thank you. Okay, you're going to call Michelle at 336-389-4103. And the question is, I just looked at the green lights and I'm blind for a second, so give me a second. I'm
got
still
it.
seeing dots.
I got it, Lisa. I can read it. So
Okay.
It says, green was not the original color associated with St. Patrick's Day. What year did green become St. Patrick's Day color? What year? What?
Don't say it, remember, Angus? Don't.
Okay.
Okay, don't say it.
Okay, that's a hard one.
Okay.
If I have a little more of this, I'll be green pretty soon.
Remember, it's the fourth caller, 336-389-4103.
And if we don't get 4 callers in the next 5 minutes, we'll take the first one that we get that's right. So we'll see. All right, so while we're waiting to see if we get a winner for that, Angus, the next thing we do is we talk about COVID. I'm assuming that...
Oh,
where
that
you're
sounds
from-
exciting.
Well, yeah, I don't know how exciting it is, but it is something we've been dealing with the last year. I'm assuming that have you had your vaccination yet?
Yes, I have. And it's like a slice in golf, you know, it just always is out of bounds. So go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so let's see, it's statistics, and I can't hold that up like that, like I normally do.
No.
So we have had, in the last week, we have had 244,209 tests that have been done in the last week, and we've had 21,254 positives. That's 8.7%. We heard the governor on today. They had a press conference today for North Carolina, and they were talking about the fact that the number of tests are down compared to where we usually are, and so that's probably having a little bit of an impact on the positivity rate at this point. But when you look at the 14-day average, we are still doing very well. It's come down again for Forsyth and Guilford and Wake and Mecklenburg. We've dropped, Forsyth dropped from 255 cases per 10,000 people in the last 14-day average, from 255 to 195. Guilford went from 265 to 226. Wake went from 240 to 230, and Mecklenburg went from 258 to 205. So, you know, we're still seeing those averages drop down, which again is really great. Hospitalizations dropped again this week. We're 73 less hospitalizations than what we were last week, so that's really good. Unfortunately, we've had another 162 deaths in the state since last week. But I thought this was really good. The governor announced this today that we have had, out of adults 18 and older in the state, 25.7% of the adults have had at least the partial vaccination at this point. 16.5% have had the full vaccination. So we're getting there as a state. I mean, that's real positive news.
You know, the Scots have had a vaccine for over a year.
They have.
Yes, I'm going to have another one right now.
Well, you go ahead there, Angus. I'm sure you'll be great by the end of the show. So when we look at the nursing homes and retirement communities, 51,367 of the positive cases have come from nursing homes and retirement communities. Again, that's 5.8%. We've been running right at 5.8% for a long time now. And then the deaths at 43.7% have come from nursing homes and retirement communities. You know, that number is still just dropping percentage-wise a little bit. And then the outbreaks dropped again this week. This is, you know, these are all really great positive signs that we're going in the right direction. We've got 66 more nursing homes and retirement communities that came off the list of outbreaks this week. So we're at 337. So we're, you know, I think the governor's office said that we are right in line with where we were back in October as far as our numbers go. So, you know, we've come a long way in the last couple months here. So it's really been good. Excited to see that. The governor didn't make any changes today. I think it was really more of a report of how we were doing. But, we're doing well here. Again, last week we had no new positives last week, so we're on a 5-week streak here so far that we haven't had any positives. So that's really good. We tested again yesterday. We'll find out the results of those tests tonight or tomorrow is typically when we get the results back. But there's been some really good changes coming along. The CDC is starting to change some of the way they're doing things. It's just starting to feel normal. I know we talked about this a little bit last week, but just walking by the bistro and seeing residents eating in the bistro, it's just been really uplifting for me and a lot of fun. So, and it's neat to be able to see people enjoying each other's company again without fear of getting COVID, right?
Right.
So,
Is that what these people are doing?
I don't know. I don't think they're having a lot of fun yet at this point. So we'll see.
It's hard to tell with the mask.
Your mask or theirs?
Yes.
So, anyway, so what else do we have, Lisa, today?
Well, we know we've had a few changes with healthcare visitations.
That's right.
So that's been a good thing, and it's still regulations out there related to visitation. It's not that simple of just free visits yet. We're not at that point yet.
Well, I think the best thing that we heard was that the state of North Carolina is now really aligning their policies on restrictions for the skilled nursing area to what the federal government is recommending. So, what we heard from the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services for the federal government last week, we can now apply those here. And so, things like indoor visitations now, if we have 2 vaccinated people, if somebody's visiting somebody and they're both vaccinated, the resident and the visitor, then the visitor only has to be wearing a mask now. They don't have to wear the full gown and the gloves.
Right,
so it's,
right.
Things
And
like
that's a
that,
big
it's
deal.
going to make a huge difference.
Right,
It's going to
absolutely.
feel a lot more normal. And with 2 vaccinated people, they can actually be hugging each other and touching each other,
Right,
which is something that they have been
Right.
not suggesting that.
And I think that's really important for our spouses that have residents in healthcare.
Well, even just
That's
family members
been-
coming in and being able to hug mom and dad or, an aunt or uncle or whatever, grandmother, whatever the case might be. So we're starting to try and, we've been taking the new stuff and trying to plug it into our system so that we kind of keep moving along with whatever the federal government keeps coming up with. So, but the healthcare center, as we said all along, the healthcare center is always going to lag behind everything else that we're doing, unfortunately. But we're getting there. It's exciting to see the changes coming. So.
Okay, how about an update on the Staff Assistance Fund?
Yes, so before we had this generous offer to do the matching gift for $15,000, we had raised around $25,000 to that point and had already sent out funds, about $20,000 to a ton of staff members who were asking for help during COVID. But since we did the challenge, we have raised almost $10,000 towards the $15,000 challenge. So that's super.
That's
We just
amazing.
announced that, was that last week we announced that? So that's amazing, I think, that we've gotten $10,000. So, and we're still having staff members that are putting in requests for those funds. Just, COVID, it hit a lot of our staff members really hard. And so a lot of them have been really bogged down with, not as much income because of spouses losing jobs or not being able to work second jobs. So losing income and having, expenses, as we know, are going up. So it's been really a blessing to be able to have that. So, thank you all for contributing towards that. That's been a huge deal. So.
Okay, I want to do one last plug for the scholarship committee vacancy that we have. Interest needs to be emailed or called in to me by tomorrow. So we have one more day to be able to put your name in the hat for the scholarship committee vacancy.
Do you know how many people have put their name in so far?
I think I already have 13 people that have submitted their names.
Wow,
So
okay. And we get to pick, the scholarship committee gets to pick one person out of that?
Right.
Yeah, so.
But they do interviews for it, so
Yeah.
they try to narrow down the field, and then they interview some of the top candidates, and then they pick one from there. So it's a challenge. I don't know how they're going to pick the one person.
All I can say is I'm glad I'm not on that
Yes,
selection committee at
no,
this point.
no.
That's not gonna be
Everyone
easy.
so far has had amazing qualifications, so every one of them could be a committee member. But unfortunately, one position's open. Lastly, we are looking for someone to take on the scrapbook project.
Yes.
That's a fun project. You get to work with Whitney and a team of wonderful photographers here. So just putting a plug out there, we are looking for a person to do our scrapbook for this year. And this year has got to be more fun than last year.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure it is.
And you and I decided that since we had so many audience members here today, that we would pick one out of this group if nobody volunteers. Is that right? So
Okay, take down names.
why
Katie
are people leaving all of a
Scroggins,
sudden?
the Edwards.
People are leaving the room here all of a sudden.
Oh, that is a good idea, though.
Yeah, I just think of it.
Oh. Okay, I really only have one question today.
Okay.
So it was very light on the questions. I have heard River Landing is having a yard sale on Wednesday, March 31st.
Yes, we are. Woo-hoo!
Yes, we are. Can my family come for the sale? So I get why this person asked this.
The question is, they want to sell their family at
No.
the yard sale? Is that what they want
No,
to
their
come?
family would like to come to the sale.
Oh, I see. Okay.
To look at purchasing items. So that's a great question, because for some folks that have not been here during the yard sales, because we have not really had one in over a year since the pandemic. So usually you're able to bring in a family member and staff can bring a family member, but this time it truly is going to be limited to our residents and our staff. There will be many more yard sales to come, so no worries there. We will have some in the future. But if you want to bid on an item for your family, that's fine. That's fine. So just go ahead and you can be their proxy person, or however you want to call that. So
Or you could take your phone, take a picture of the item that you think they might be interested in, send it to them, and then you can bid on it for them.
and then you
right?
can bid on it for them.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yep. So that was the only question I had.
I have a question.
Oh, no. I don't know.
Are these for me?
No, this would be for the trivia winner.
You have your
Right here.
own-
Oh.
You have your own vaccination.
Yeah, it's going to
Yeah.
run out soon.
Yeah. So, Angus, were you named after a cow?
Not that I know of.
Take another drink.
Well, Lisa, I think we have another special guest
We do.
for us today, right?
We do.
Hence the reason we have an extra chair.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I'm going to shift down so the new person can come on stage here.
Yes.
So a big welcome for Jack Berry, one of our residents here. Going to have...
Oh, is he Irish? He has on an Irish hat?
He is an expert on Irish, so come on up, Jack.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome,
Hello,
welcome.
Hello, Jack. We have quite a bit in common.
We do.
We both hate the English
We do. With a passion.
Oh, my goodness.
and their football teams.
Yes.
And their football teams.
So that means you're not a Panthers fan? Is that
You,
what you're...
nah, other football. Oh. The real football.
Oh, you're
With real
talking about...
Yeah.
Yes.
I understand the English have been very busy the last week. At Stonehenge, it takes a long time to move those stones to make them go forward an hour. Thank you, ma'am.
We had one audience member laugh at that.
Yes, yes,
It's a tough crowd.
yes.
Either the rest of them are still trying to figure it out, or
Or they just didn't
they didn't
care.
think it was funny. One or the other. I'm not sure what it is.
And we both have mythical creatures. They were leprechauns for the Irish and golfers for Scottish.
And the leprechauns are more honest.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, now, the Scottish have a problem with the tradition of taking a four-leaf clover and putting it in a book, closing it, because we don't like to press our luck.
That's low.
Yeah, I don't think anybody laughed at that one.
This is why we don't usually have an audience. Okay? I'm just telling you now.
But it gets better, doesn't it?
Oh, yes.
Hope so.
So, Jack, are you going to share some things so that that people might be interested to know about this holiday, or
Yeah.
about being Irish, or?
Yeah, I can share a few things about St. Patty's Day. Of course, first and foremost, it's a church holiday.
Yes.
It's the feast day in the Roman Catholic Church, the feast day of St. Patrick, who is the patron saint of Ireland. And I guess as most of you know, Patrick's story, he was born in Roman Britain and was kidnapped when he was 16 years old and taken to Ireland as a slave, where he stayed for 6 years as a slave. He learned the Irish language, and made his escape and went back home and was trained as a priest, as a cleric. And he then went back to Ireland to bring, as a missionary, to bring Christianity to the pagan Irish. The legend is that he drove the snakes out of Ireland, which is purely a legend because there never were any snakes in Ireland to begin with.
Yeah, they're all in Scotland.
They're in Scotland. You have a couple of them there.
Yes, yes.
Also, by legend, he used the shamrock, the three-leafed shamrock, to explain the Holy Trinity to the pagans. I think they were probably already familiar with that concept. If you look at Celtic designs that go back thousands of years, you see similar shapes. But anyway, that's old St. Patrick, and it's St. Paddy, P-A-D-D-Y, not Patty.
Interesting.
Patrick's name was Patricius in Latin, which when he went to Ireland, they called him Padraig, P-A-D-R-A-I-G. So it's St. Paddy's Day.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they always taught us that shamrocks were fake rocks. Sham rocks?
Shamrocks, well,
That's not true? Oh, okay.
There are those, but they're not the ones that he used.
I see.
But the holiday celebration that we're familiar with, with the funny hats and kiss me, I'm Irish, and lots of green beer and big parades, that's really not an Irish thing. That's an American thing. Irish Americans sort of brought that about, I guess, pining for the old country. The first recorded St. Patrick's Day parade was in 1737 in New York City, and one followed later in Boston. But the Irish celebrated it very, very quietly. Of course, it being a church holy day, the family would go to church, go to Mass first thing, and then go home and spend the afternoon together having a meal. And in their case, they didn't eat corned beef and cabbage.
No.
Because the average Irishman couldn't afford beef.
Oh.
So it was bacon and cabbage.
Wow.
Irish bacon is kind of like Canadian bacon.
Okay.
But, and there may have been sipping of perhaps some homemade alcoholic beverage in the afternoon, but it was not the big drinking thing that it is today. Today in Scotland, they celebrate it more or less like we do, and that began back around 1975, 1980, and I think it was the pressures of tourism and the beer companies that brought that about.
Sure.
Yeah, in Scotland we have the Highland Games, which is people drinking and throwing heavy things.
Big telephone pole.
What could possibly go wrong?
Exactly. Exactly. And the drinking part is the best part.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Scott, the Irish have a reputation for being heavy drinkers. Mm-hmm. And it's true. We do have a taste for the products of Arthur and John. Arthur Guinness and John Jameson.
Yes. Yes.
I read somewhere yesterday that the average Irishman 16 years and older will consume the equivalent of 13 liters of pure alcohol a year.
Wow.
Which sounds like a lot. Mm-hmm. Scots are not far behind us.
We're working on it.
You guys consume 11 liters.
You know why, don't you?
I know why you trail us, but why?
Because we play golf.
Well, there is
the most horrendous game ever invented.
It is. It is. I think the reason you trail us is because the quality of your whiskey is so poor.
Oh.
Now that hurts.
That's fighting words.
Well,
I would admit that your Guinness is better.
The Guinness?
But our Scotch is better.
Well, you have to infuse it with the flavor of peat smoke to disguise the taste.
And we love it. And we love it. For Pete's sake.
I think of it as barbecue whiskey.
And I have to give it to the Irish on the music side, too. You know, we have the bagpipes. And you know why people always walk when they play bagpipes?
Why is that?
To get away from the noise.
Well, we Irish have pipes also.
Yes.
You play them sitting down, and they're a more genteel
Yes.
instrument.
Little pump under the arm.
Pump under the arm, and you squeeze
Bag over
the
here.
bag over here. It's kind of like doing the funky chicken.
I thought you were going to do the funky chicken for a second there. Ed.
The funky green chicken.
Oh, too crazy.
Well, that's awesome, Jack. Thank you very much for sharing all
My
that.
pleasure.
Yes.
My pleasure.
That's very cool.
You know the difference between bagpipes and a lawnmower?
No, what's the difference?
You can tune a lawnmower. Just saying.
You can shoot it?
Tune it.
Tune it. Well, that makes more sense.
Yes. Although you can shoot it too.
I just wasn't sure.
I've heard that pipers spend 20% of the time tuning their instruments, and
Yes.
80% of the time playing out of tune.
Yes. That's right. That is right. Oh, I hit a golf ball in one of your ponds. I've got to go fetch it later. I never leave a golf ball.
What if it's in the middle of the pond?
I go under. I go under.
Oh,
You know, we had a resident once here that got stuck in a pond going after a golf ball.
I'll be careful.
didn't we have a golf cart get stuck in the pond once, too?
I think we have. We've had all
think
kinds
we
of fun
have.
stuff. When you have a golf course, you have those kinds of things happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, the legend has it that the gentleman that got stuck in the pond had to be pulled out with the tractor because the mud in the pond had sucked his boots down so far he couldn't get out. So
I could believe that.
I think that was a
Yes.
legend, though. I don't think
You think
that
so?
really happened. But I do know we did have somebody get stuck in the pond, though. That,
The legend
that
of
part's true.
Soggy Bottom. I like it.
And I heard one time that a resident even tried to swim in the pond.
Yes.
Do you think that's true?
I know that's true.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was
Yeah.
the person clothed?
He asked if they were clothed, or were they skinny dipping?
No, I believe they were clothed.
They were clothed.
But, yeah, it was interesting because that resident also, you know, you all know that when we get a lot of rain, we have the river come out on the back. And so this resident was brave enough to go swimming in the river when it was out one day, too. So
Sounds like an
that was a long
adventurous
time
person.
ago. Yeah. That was a long time ago. But that was pretty neat. Don't ever, you know, I shouldn't have brought it up. 'Cause we didn't want to give away any ideas, right? This is why we put the pool in, so you wouldn't have to
You're right.
swim in the ponds or
Right.
swim in. And you know, there's snapping turtles and all kinds of things in those ponds. I wouldn't want
That,
to
that would
go
have
anywhere
been,
near the
that could have
ponds.
been dangerous.
Okay, well, thank you both for being here today.
My pleasure.
So glad.
So Lisa, do we have some birthdays to
We
celebrate?
do. Okay, so Monday, we had Kay Wagstaff and Joy Jukes.
Okay.
On Tuesday, Roy Drum. Today, St. Patty's Day, we have Joanne Least, Liz Horner, Sharon Burke, and Deanna Vickers.
At least one of those people is in our audience, I know, so.
I don't dare look up because I get blinded, so I'm sorry. I'm sure you're out there. And then, let's see, Thursday, we have no birthdays. Friday, we have Marie Clark and Marilyn Winther. Sunday, we have Harry DePel, Margaret Delmar, and Glennie Oglesby. And for staff birthdays, yesterday we had Aiden Flanagan from dining and Rebecca Dickerson from nursing. Today we have Fanny Buxton in dining. Tomorrow we have Grayson Thompson in dining. Friday we have Reagan Labiak in nursing. Saturday is Ben Woodward in dining. And Sunday, Camden Saylor in dining and Lyric Marshall in dining. A lot of dining folks.
Yeah.
So happy birthday to everyone.
Happy birthday to all of you. Happy birthday to our one audience member who has got a birthday too. So let's give her a hand. Yay!
For her to choose to spend her birthday down here with us, that's pretty impressive.
Yes.
So Thank you for that.
Everybody else in the audience is going, she's nuts for being here, but
Yes, is everyone here that desperate?
apparently so, Angus.
Yes.
Thank you for the G.
You're welcome.
Okay, before we get to the trivia winner,
Oh,
we have a little game for our audience,
we do?
okay?
Okay.
So for our audience members, check under your chair and see if you have a lucky leprechaun. Shamrock leprechaun,
Okay, nobody get hurt
okay?
doing this.
Everybody's taking a look right now for the TV Land audience. So,
there's
we have
one.
one winner over there. Oh,
I hear a second one.
another winner? Okay, two winners. That's awesome. See,
So everybody's checking all the empty chairs. For you all that can't see this, they're all checking the empty
I love
chairs.
it.
But we believe there was only 2 winners. Is that correct?
Yes.
I didn't know
Okay,
leprechauns hid under
congratulations.
chairs.
I didn't either.
See, it paid to come today.
So
So the winners.
As a surprise,
Yes.
right, they get a date with Angus here.
Oh, you'll love it. We're going to go play golf.
Oh, there's a taker.
I hope you like a redhead.
One saying, never mind, the other one saying, bring it on. So,
Okay, well, that was
no,
fun.
that wasn't quite what we had in mind for this.
No, it wasn't. You actually get some Amazon gift cards. Right, Brian? So you can find anything on Amazon.
And Brian will deliver that to you at your home later. Because he's got to spend a little bit of it first, right?
That's right.
Or the leprechaun will bring it.
Yes, the
little leprechaun.
Yeah.
Okay, so the trivia question today was green was not the original color associated with St. Pat's Day. What year did green become St. Patrick's Day color? The answer is 1798.
Wow.
Did you know that one already?
I didn't know the year. I knew it was blue originally.
What was it?
Color.
Blue
Oh,
originally.
okay.
So Angus, what was it like in 1798?
The golf was better.
Okay, so the winners today, it's a couple, John and Kathy Hoyt. So congratulations, yes. So they win the wonderful beer.
Yeah, and there's 5 lovely beers up here.
4, actually.
Okay, it's
You better
going
hurry,
quick.
better hurry, come get it.
Yeah, if Brian takes it to him, it's going to be down to 2 before you know it.
I know, you're right. Okay, and Jack, for being such a wonderful guest today, we have a little present for you.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, so you can take that home and
Thank you.
share with Dee Dee tonight, and
Blue
enjoy.
quail.
Yes, blue quail.
Irish eyes are smiling, aren't they?
Smiling even more.
So thank you for being on today. Yes.
And it really is green, even though it says blue on it.
Green quail.
So, Lisa, speaking of John Hoyt, he sent me something this week that I thought would be kind of fun. It's these little quip things, little kind of interesting things, but let me just see if you all like any of these. So it says, I'm on 2 diets. I wasn't getting enough food on the first one. Let me ask you if anybody can relate to this. A cold seat in a public restroom is unpleasant, but a warm seat in a public restroom is probably worse. Don't irritate old people. The older we get, the less life in prison is a deterrent. Have you ever listened to someone for a minute and thought, their cornbread isn't done in the middle? Yeah, I don't know about that one. So, let's see. You will hit every cone on the highway before I let you merge in front of me because you saw that sign 2 miles ago like I did. Anybody relate to that one? I really don't mind getting older, but my body is taking it badly. It turns out that being an adult now is mostly just Googling how to do stuff. I missed the 90s when bread was still good for you and no one knew what kale was. Boy, Well, I don't know. I know a lot of people like kale, but I cannot eat kale. There's
I
something
love
about
kale.
kale. I can't
Yeah.
do it. So,
Yeah.
did you ever get up in the morning, look in the mirror, and think, that can't be accurate? I want to be 14 again and ruin my life differently. I have new ideas.
That's good.
As I watch this new generation try to rewrite our history, one thing I'm sure of, it will be misspelled and have no punctuation. Yeah. I told my wife I wanted to be cremated. She made me an appointment for Tuesday.
Aye.
Confuse your doctor by putting on rubber gloves at the same time he does. My wife asked me to take her to one of those restaurants where they make food right in front of you. I took her to Subway. And then I think this is my favorite one. I picked up a hitchhiker. He asked if I wasn't afraid he might be a serial killer. I told him the odds of two serial killers being in the same car are extremely unlikely. John, thank you. Those are awesome.
Those are good.
You were very good.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, very good.
All right. Well, another great show.
Yeah.
Great guests, great studio audience. Wow. Two winners out of the audience. We have a birthday in the audience. I mean, it just can't get any better.
Yes.
It's not get any better than this. So, Angus, any last
Thank you for the G.
any last words of wisdom that you'd like to share, or I'm sorry. There's an inside joke to this.
Yeah, no. I think I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we love you all. Stay safe. Have a great afternoon. Might have some storms tomorrow to be aware of hearing some potential for severe storms, so be watching for that. Be careful. And
I'll be out on the golf course. I can see you
sure
there.
you will. We'll be sending the paramedics out because it's probably struck by lightning. But hope you all have a great afternoon, and we love you. See you next week.
4.